Excellencies, distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen, much have been said about Islam and its relation to terrorisms or violent religious extremisms. But one thing important I would like to underline is the theme of our conference. Ini al-unwan di hadal mu'tamar, two key phrases. The first, ad-dinul islami, not dinul Islam, but ad-dinul islami, which in my opinion emphasize the very characteristics of Islam, which is a religion of peace. Dinul rahma was salama. And the second phrase in our theme, muwajahatul irhab. I like the terms, not mu'aradatul irhab, but muwajahatul irhab. So we choose struggle for rather than struggle against. Because in my experiences attending so many international fora, international conferences, and many Muslim countries, the theme were always, maybe in Arabic, al-alamul islami wa tahaddiyat al-awlama. هذا المعارضة. ولكن al-ahsan, the good things in my opinion, it's limuwajaha. Ajwiyatul al-alamil islami li-tahaddiyat al-awlama. So this is the response of the Muslim world in response to the challenge of terrorism and violent religious extremisms. So I underline the theme by emphasizing Islam as religions of peace and mercy, dinur rahma was salama, in struggle for, rather than against. Much have been said. I think what we need now is the plan of action, the strategy of kaifiyat to struggle for the challenge of terrorism and violent religious extremisms. I think this conference should set up at the end our plan of action, our strategy to face the challenge of terrorism. But first of all, I'd like to underline what have been said by Professor Syamsuddin and also the chairman of the Oriental Study Center here in Moscow, that we need to learn the root cause of terrorism, especially related to Islam. Though terrorisms, fundamentalisms, religious radicalisms are not peculiar, it's not peculiar to Islam, but also to other religions in the world today. There is a kind of awakening of radicalisms in Hinduism, in Christianity, even in Shintoism in Japan. So it's not peculiar to Islam, but the mistake of the West, especially the United States, soon after the September 11th, President Bush launched a war on terror. And the very mistake is making attribution of terrorism to Islam, and then making generalization as well as stigmatization of the Western media to Islam, to Islamic terrorism. So the root cause, as has been said, there is a religious factor. But in our opinion, maybe according to the ulama gathered here, that their understanding of the Muslim radicalists, fundamentalists, is indeed misuse and even abuse of Islam. I think so many verses in the Holy Quran and Hadith condemning that. But the second root cause is indeed global injustice. Not only the unsolved problem of Palestine, but also the so many manifestations of global injustices in the world today against Islam. Soon after the colonialization of Muslim countries by the Western countries, what we know also now, the occupation, the neo-imperialistic orientation of so many major countries to Islamic countries, to the Muslim countries. So let me, and the second, at the end, the last part of my short presentation. So what's the way forward? Number one, I think we need to mainstream Islam, ad-din al-Islami, with its characteristics as religions of peace. I think this is the responsibility of the ulama, of the zu'ama, because there is a kind of silent majority vis-a-vis radical minority. So let's come forward, and we need to mainstream our mission that Islam is a religion of peace from the moderate ulama, by emphasizing that Islam and the Muslims are the community of the middle path, ummatan wasata. So the principle of wasatiyah, of moderation, I think we need to mainstream through our education, through preaching. And this is what we have been doing in Indonesia, how to mainstream the principle of wasatiyah, that Islam is religion of peace. Though there are but very minor minority fundamentalists, we have only 300 people who go to join the ISIS or Daesh, because we have been together under the Indonesian Council of Ulama, Majelis Ulama Indonesia, which is umbrella organization of all Islamic organizations in the archipelago. We emphasize, we have full self-confidence that Islam is a religion of peace. Number two, I think we need to work together through our governments to cut the root cause of global injustice. Global injustice, the double standard performed by many major countries in the world today, especially in its relation to overcome the problem in the Muslim countries. And the third, I think, in my opinion, the interference of external power, like in Iraq, in Afghanistan, in the past, has added to this factor. I think the situation in Muslim countries, especially in the Arab countries, need to some extent, and we need the role of the OIC in this regard, how to solve our own problem, internal problems by ourselves. And the last one, we need to intensify dialogue. I do believe in the power of dialogue. Islam is a religion of dialogue. So many verses in the Holy Quran lead us to dialogue. But the most important things today, Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, is intra-faith dialogue. We have been witnessing in the world today the new tension and conflict. I do believe with the scenario of a proxy war between Iran and Arab countries, and then between Shia and Sunnism, I think we need, well, we are only to revive al-fitna al-kubra we have happened in the Muslim history in this modern time. I think by the wisdom of the ulama, of Muslim leaders, I do believe this situation in the Muslim countries and the Muslim world can be overcome. And therefore, Your Excellencies, my last sentence is, I think this conference is quite important and timely, but we need to voice our statement and our opinion within, amid the so many opinions in the Muslim world today, and also how to overcome the damage, al-fasad al-mutarakim, a cumulative global damage in the Muslim countries. And that's why I think the newly endorsed agenda of the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals indeed in line with our problems. So not only to focus the issue and the challenge of Islamic radicalism, fundamentalism, but also how to work together to overcome the cumulative global damage, tahlil al-fasad al-mutarakim fil alam. I think this is also should be of the focus of our attention. Thank you very much. Wassalamu alaikum.